I'll tell you someone we need to mention, but never gets a mention, and he's the bogeyman in all the divisions, and he needs a shot at something big. Boo Andrade.
You couldn't be more right. I just covered Boo Boo.
Bogeyman. The man's a two-weight world champion, and he will box the ears off anyone who has the bollocks to get in the ring with him. Give the man a shot at something good.
Might we see him on your undercard?
He's moved up now, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Into what weight is it now?
168 now.
168. So you got Caleb Plant, you got David Benavidez. Who else is there?
Yeah, he wants Charlo.
Get them all in. Give the man a chance. He's 33, 34-year-old. He's a two-weight world champion, and he hasn't boxed any of these big names, and not on his own problem. It's the other names don't want to fight him. Give Andrade a chance at something big.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, I'm a little late to the party on this one, but I still feel like this is worth talking about. So I'm talking about it, and as you guys saw in the beginning of this video, Tyson Fury, the one and only, you can't clone him, the lineal heavyweight champion of the world, he was doing an interview with Radio Raheem. And out of the blue, out of nowhere, he winds up vouching and pleading for a particular fighter to get a shot at a big fight. And that fighter is none other than, one of the most skilled fighters in boxing himself. It's me again, the two-division champion, Rhode Island's very own, Demetrius Andrade. Very unlikely, very, very random because, when have we ever heard Tyson Fury mention Demetrius Andrade? But he wants to see him get a shot in a big fight. So you guys heard what he said. And, I've been critical of Andrade. I spent probably the last couple months of 2022 being about as hypercritical of Andrade as I've ever been. But you guys know I'm still a Demetrius Andrade fan. Big fan of his skills. Want to see him get the big fights. He's at 168 now where there's a lot of big fights for him. He's now made his debut at 168, and he beat Desmond Nicholson. Now, there's a lot going on right now, 168. Canelo is probably going to fight John Ryder. He has all the belts. Andrade's number 2 in the WBO. He's pretty close to, I believe, becoming number 1 contender in the WBO. So that whole saga, I think, will be starting back up before you know it. You're going to have the Plant Benavidez winner. They're saying that person might be the mandatory for Canelo as well. Maybe that person, maybe they wind up fighting Andrade next. That could be an option. David Morrell's in the weight class. A lot of people want to see him fight David Morrell. I have my boy H Money. He said, BT, you need to tell Demetrius Andrade he's ducking David Morrell Jr., all that stuff. So, there's David Morrell Jr. as well. And then there's also the big rivalry fight with Jamal Charlo that could happen. So there's so many fights that could be made. And I think at this point, right, Andrade is no spring chicken. Everyone says he's never fought anybody. A lot of people question how good he is. But those who know what they're watching and those who know Andrade is top shelf, creme de la creme. An elite fighter, and if you're out here saying anything other than that, then you really shouldn't be watching this particular sport. Maybe you should go watching, maybe you can go watch hockey, which is a great sport as well. You can go watch baseball, you can go watch soccer, you can go watch NASCAR, Formula One. There's a lot of great sports out there, but boxing just isn't for you if you're out here really trying to question if Demetrius Andrade is a top fighter. Listen, Andrade has made some bad decisions in the past. I've criticized him for some of them. I've forgiven him, though. I've forgiven the guy. I still want to see him get his big fights, and I'm glad that someone like Tyson Fury is out here saying what people like me have said on YouTube for a number of years and on numerous occasions. He said that that Demetrius Andrade is the boogeyman in every division he goes in, which for the most part is the truth. Yes, it is the truth, because are there some guys Andrade didn't fight? Oh yeah, there's a couple guys. And some of it is his fault. There's always two sides to every story, but I mean, look at what's happened in most weight classes. When he goes up to 54, they go up to 60. When he goes up to 60, they go up to 68, and that's been the case his whole entire career. It's always been the case his entire career, because at the end of the day, you can sit here and you can criticize his resume and say, oh well, he's 32-0, he's never beat anybody, but there's a lot of guys who have lost to nobodies. There's a lot of good fighters that have lost to nobodies at some point of their career. And there's something to be said for a fighter that has been consistently at the top level of the championship level of boxing, done their job 32 times. We're not just talking about for 1 year. We're not talking about 2 years. We're not talking about 3 years. We're not even talking about 5 years. But we're talking about literally 10 years, over 10 years, going on like damn near 15 years. Like that's where Andrade has been. You know, I believe he turned pro in what? He was Olympian in 2008. I believe he probably turned pro in what, 2009. We're in 2023. So that's about what, 14 years as a professional. And he hasn't really had any blemishes, hasn't really had many close fights, and it just speaks to his level of execution in the sport, in the ring, you know. So listen, people always say with me, right? They've been saying, "Oh, BT, you're just hating on Andrew. You don't want to see him. You don't really care about the guy. You don't want to see him get the big fights," and that's not even true. It's not even true. Just was a little upset about the Johnny Beck Zach Parker situation, but I'm still an Andrade fan. I still want to see him get the big fights. I still want to see him fight Benavidez, Plant, Canelo, Morrell, them guys. You know, he's at this weight class now, so I can't really harp on the past too much. You know. Great to have Tyson Fury, you know, backing Demetrius Andrade. I hope we get to a stage where more people in the boxing world call this out, because this is a guy that deserves that one chance, you know. One more chance. Baby, give me one more chance. You know, he deserves that chance to prove himself in a big fight. And when he has that big fight, if you're not a believer of him, then you could accurately judge what the man's abilities are if he gets the big fight. But either way you cut it up, slice it, and dice it, there's something to be said for the difficulties he constantly has of getting top fighters in the ring. Some of it is self-inflicted. Some of it is incompetence on his part and his team. But the other part of it is the fact that a lot of these guys aren't eager to fight him. You know, I was in the presence of Canelo Alvarez just last year, and I pressed him about fighting Demetrius Andrade. And I felt the energy of the man, all right? It was not the energy of the man who wanted smoke. It was like the energy of the man who was content and was going to do what he wanted to do, you know? So it is what it is, man. But that's the news. Tyson Fury has come out, and he is backing the two-division champion, Rhode Island's very own, Demetrius Andrade, one of the best fighters in boxing. Whether you love him or hate him, that's just the stone cold truth. So, yeah. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Dang. So until next time, take care, guys.
And I state that without arrogance. I don't mean to be arrogant, but I am a realist. And as a realist, it would be absolutely unprofessional for me to sit here and pretend I'm not an exceptional human being.
Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.